Okay, ASAP Rocky music video. I like how, at least for SNL, he changed up the track list a little bit because he did "Don't Be Dumb" into Helicopters. Now he's doing "Whiskey" into Black DeMarco. Let's see what he's talking about.
Was the night before the release of Don't Be Dumb. A cold draft through the door that made fingers go numb. But rest assured, whiskey was poured.
This is so cool. Just being able to throw Tim Burton's like tag on there, bro. Or you know what I'm saying? Tim Burton really putting his touch on this. Cause look at that shot right there. Classic, bro. The thing I liked about A$AP Rocky's album is it's very well studied, down to who he chose to collaborate with. And then even the subject matter, he only covered so many things, but he checked all the boxes. Yes, he talked about being like, you know what I'm saying, a co-parent with Rihanna. He talked about other people wanting her before him, etc. Right? And it's just like, he didn't even do too much when it comes to dissing Drake and stuff, specifically. Just well studied. He covered all his topics very well. Like, very good project, bro. Give him his degree. Give him his diploma.
Draft through the door that made...
That's good. Is this full quality? No. Alright, let's get that in 4K, please. Thank you.
Was the night before the release of Don't Be Dumb. A cold draft through the door that made fingers go numb. But rest assured, whiskey was poured. A man with a sketchbook sat alone at the bar, not ordinary by far. However, I am certain that world-renowned Tim Burton had another genius idea on the tip of his tongue. He couldn't quite sketch it, he was sure he could get it, but this draft of many drafts...
I like this because this is how I imagine A$AP Rocky and Tim Burton met, bro. They just met at some like low-key, insomnia-driven-esque like bar, lounge, club spot. Just definitely like at a bar or something, bro.
Was not quite the one, but alas his eyelids grew heavy, an unexpected snooze.
No way.
What's there to lose? Well, for starters, when one's not looking, one's ideas run loose. Out for the night, to give a good fright, these mischievous drawings started a riot of great might.
That's such a fun shot. You just like put the car behind the dolly as you move the camera. That's so fun. And now it looks like a remote control car, but it's really just being like dragged behind. I mean, this is the stop motion stuff, right? I mean, Tim Burton, this is like his bag. Same concepts, same techniques, you just put into a music video and like a film format for like live action. That's so cool. WPOV shot right here. Tough. Yo, I saw he's really selling helicopters for like $100 as merch for the album. For remote control helicopter, bro. It's like a mini one, but still, that's so cool. And he's had it in most of the music videos, so he's like, you know, promoting the merch in his visuals. What do you call that? Like product placement.
He awoke from a dream so real it did seem like the sketches from the unknown. 'Twas time to go home.
That crash zoom out? Because you're really in that world, and then they just like zoom out to reveal. What a cool reveal. Yo. Yo. This is like 6 Empire State Buildings. They're the Twin Towers. Pinky and Zemborine. Good job, y'all. Y'all did a great job. I really be trying to see if my friends be on this shit for real these days. The cleanup was visual effects pick. Okay. And then I think we got a... What's next? Yeah, behind the scenes for the helicopter video. Some of the cast looks familiar too, like the girl in the subway station. Just good faces and names. I mean, look how many people worked on this shit. And to be fair, it was like mixed media. They had the 2D animation on top of 3D, well, 2D film, but still like a 3D world. 2 2D mediums combined. Jay Schwan was the DP. Very good job. Look at all these jobs. First AC. Tough. Yeah, man. I've been reading Spike Lee's, I guess, autobiography or whatever, and it's definitely given a lot of insight to what it takes for real. What it looks like too. Unless I'm tripping, I didn't see anybody from like ASAP Mob in the video. Unless they were like well hidden. Like some of these names look familiar, but not 100%. Yeah. That was cool though. It all started from a bar fight.
I was scrolling through YouTube today and watched A$AP Rocky's new music video,
Talk to me.
and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Not by the music, but the visual effects used to create this very trippy one-shot sequence. This is new technology in the creative space, so I did some research and wanted to share my findings and break down how this effect was accomplished. So let's not waste any time, let's get into it. Over the past year, I've been seeing a lot of tech advancement happening when it comes to Gaussian splats. Gaussian splats are basically a point cloud captured either with a 360 camera or multiple cameras that could be used to recreate real-life scene.
Because to me, yeah, the animation seems so soft. And that would explain it. If y'all know Gaussian blur in Photoshop,
Or objects in 3D environments. The last post I saw was a white paper surrounding 4D-GS, which is four-dimensional Gaussian splats. With
Okay, now you've lost me. 4D? Jesus.
Lets you capture footage with multiple cameras and uses AI so you can move the camera freely around the environment or subject smoothly. But no major applications have integrated.
Okay, well then, yeah, he did that for his visuals too, because you're able to do that in the visualizers that he dropped. Those shits are cool.
This technology until I began to dive deeper. After researching some channels who cover this technology and a couple Google searches, I found the company behind Rocky's new music video. A company called Evercoast, based out of Brooklyn, New York, had created a proprietary software and hardware that lets you capture four-dimensional Gaussian splats and even play it back for a broadcast in real time. But this is just...
That's insane. It's like real-life hologram.
One big piece of the puzzle. Let's break down the rest. So the first step was hiring a bunch of actors and extras to be filmed in this 360 studio by Evercoast to do all the actions. And
bro, the casting director went stupid. You just gotta sit there and think who you want to scan in for real. What they'll be wearing, how tall, how short, ethnicity, all that stuff. You're thinking about it just to scan them in to a scene.
Movements they needed for the video.
Fuck.
You can actually tell that this is
Yep. And I knew people were gonna say this was AI generated, but like I'm so glad someone dropped the video. But when I saw it, I knew this was visual effects. Somebody made this shit, bro.
the way they captured it, because
Like AI is involved, but again, as a tool, it's not AI generated. It's like AI assisted at best.
even though the camera never stops moving, the characters either stand still or they only take a step or two. The next step is bringing all
Yeah, it was like loops. That's again where I knew it was like these are just loops. AI would have tried to do some dumb shit to make it actually flow together, but I'm like, no. If a real human did this, they'd have like a rhythm to it, and it just loops.
these four-dimensional Gaussian splat, or as even though and movements they needed for the video. You can actually tell that this is the way they captured it, because even though the camera never stops moving, the characters either stand still or they only take a step or two. The next step is bringing all of these four-dimensional Gaussian splat characters and
Yeah, they can't like take you into multiple spaces, multiple scenes.
to Unreal Engine. Now, Unreal Engine 5 has been the go-to place to open up and explore Gaussian splats if the case is for filmmaking. They have made the file types compatible, and they have their own capture mode, so the sky's...
This really is the future of filmmaking, though. Like, y'all are making scenes in a computer, and then you will high-key just either scan in or, you know, kind of like bake in, mask in live footage. That shit tough.
the limits for camera movement and scene building. Now, this is the coolest part. A third-party plugin from a company called Volina allows you to relight all Gaussian splat scenes and characters with in-engine light sources. This is where creativity comes in. During the capture phase, they intentionally light the characters in neutral lighting, so inside Unreal Engine, the lighting can properly affect the colors, shadows, and ambient occlusion of everything, just like traditional 3D objects. The technology is impressive, but close-ups and details are still lacking and have artifacts of their own, as you can see from the fur jacket and other accessories. So this is why I believe they've really leaned into the old-school music video, even 4:3 aspect ratio and CRTV look for the video to help hide the flaws, but amplify the creative freedom with this new tech. It's definitely not...
It was great. It was great. And it made sense whether it was an intentional or not, because the way he packaged everything, like down to the PlayStation like cover arts and stuff, it was immediately going to take you back to like 90s with the square, you know, TV screen. Like, and the video games that were coming out at the time, it had that look. This is what the graphics, like the polygons back then, this is low-key what the music video is like resembling.
Not perfect, but the fast-paced
Yeah, this shit was so crazy.
and grittiness of the video really helps complement the effect.
Like, imagine getting casted to just be a random news anchor and you have no idea what's gonna happen for your scene. Like, you went from talking about this shit.
Help hide the flaws, but amplify the creative freedom with this new tech. It's definitely not perfect, but the fast pace and grittiness of the video really helps complement the effect. Technology is always pushing the envelope for art and vice versa, and ASAP Rocky seems to be the first of the scene leveraging this new tech. I hope you learned something today and look forward to seeing you in the next one.
Alright, we're really about to get into dissecting the album now. And I just had a thought, hopefully it comes back to me. But I feel like there's a lot of subtle things that Rocky did in this album that do cover even more broader things than just who he's dating, why he hasn't dropped in so long, etc. Especially when you think about his like battle with law enforcement for like the last 5-6 years for real. He got arrested overseas, then I think he got pardoned and got back to the States just for his friend to fucking sue him for some bullshit for money. Like really almost losing everything he worked so hard for. And then the way he chose to respond is like very creative, very high level in my opinion. Because tapping into Tim Burton to really visualize and illustrate like the feelings and the experiences and stuff like that, like it was all there if you wanted to break it down in that Whiskey Black DeMarco video. That was such a good job. It really personified these characters now. Like I get what they represent in my mind. It's up to everyone else to kind of make up what that world looks like in theirs. But yeah, the world building he did on this album was insane. And it does kind of takes inspiration from all his older projects, but it does it in a like, in a whole new way. I don't know.
Bro, it's been since 2018 since Testing dropped by ASAP Rocky, bruh. Like, this is insane. You know, this album, Don't Be Dumb, was supposed to drop years ago, like 2 years ago. And we finally get it, bro, in the big 2026, aka 2016. Well, that's what they're saying in the streets now, that we're in 2016, bro. Shit's crazy. But Don't Be Dumb, man. Don't Be Dumb by ASAP Rocky. And man, I'm really feeling this project, bro. You know, was it worth the wait? I don't want to say it wasn't, because at the end of the day, bro, making music is hard.
Was it worth the wait? It's just, it wasn't up to us from the beginning. I don't know.
You know, now that I make music, it's really hard. Dropping something that feels perfect to you, like, really takes time, and I get that. But we probably shouldn't have waited this long. I'll say that. And, you know, looking at the track list, it's not a super long project. It's
so?
about an hour long, split into two sides with the second disc, only having 2 tracks. And that's kind of interesting because it gives you a lot of space to really focus on the individual track.
Yeah, the 2 extra tracks were perfect to me. I don't even see why you need to drop a deluxe. Just keep dropping music, in my opinion. Fuck a deluxe, just keep dropping music. You're going on tour anyway, like you might as well. Now that the album's out, like I feel like that will free up Rocky to do a lot more collaboration, hopefully, or just like pushing his OG artists, which would be nice.
You know, for me, the standout tracks have to start with like Stop Snitching. You know, at first.
Stop Snitching got my full attention, bro.
You know, for me, the standout tracks have to start with like Stop Snitching. You know, at first I thought the second guy on it was
the second guy, and I could see how you thought that was Ferg, because you're probably like 12, but no.
Ferg? ASAP Ferg? But nah, bro, it's this dude Sauce Walker.
This dude Sauce Walker. Y'all are crazy.
You know, I'm not really a fan of him, but I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're 12.
He went dumb.
He went insane.
He went dumb, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my
then
god.
There's Air Force, which hits hard. You know, especially that breakdown on the second part with the interlude. You know, Rocky's melodies has always been A1. And Robbery, Whiskey, you know, those tracks really, and Rocky's melodies has all, you know, especially that.
He just blew me with that whole, I don't know who Sauce Walker dude is. Yes, he went dumb.
And you know, then there's Air Force, which hits hard.
So y'all like Air Force, okay?
You know, especially that breakdown on the second part with the
right, the Black DeMarco part of Air Force. Yes, is good.
Interlude, you know, Rocky's melodies
And I think that's everyone was gravitating to those songs where there was like those cool rocky melodies, which just remind you of like his earlier work. That's what people like the most. That's what I'm noticing. But Stow Your Flow, Stay Here for Life, I think everyone's gonna like that one. With Brent Faiyaz. Stop Snitching is gonna get slept on because y'all think it's ASAP Ferg apparently. Yeah, Air Force. The second half of the album goes crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Second half of the album is like hit after hit after hit, and then that's why the 2 extra songs feel like really nice desserts after a good fucking meal. Solid album. Literally 60 minutes flat. Like, are you kidding me? Packaged, concise, kept it simple. This is his best album. That's a take I'm willing to put out there. That's my parlay. This is his best album, bruh. Down to the features he chose, everything. I gotta go back and listen to like Testing again, but I know this just doesn't hold up. Praise the Lord was the best song on the album. 1 billion views. Like, all right. All right.
Always been A1. And Robbery, Whiskey, you know, those tracks really show like that experimental side of Rocky that he's really been trying to tap into since like, I don't know, 2016, 2017, you know, since like the Cozy Tapes era. You know, one thing
Okay, so y'all are hip to the Cozy Tapes, okay. That makes sense because Cardi's on it, so of course y'all know that. But when you think about the 2015 album after Yams passed, that was his last real album, in my opinion. These were mixtapes, respectfully. Especially the first one. That's a mixtape. 2011, that was a mixtape. 2013, that was like a deluxe mixtape. And then this was like his album. I'm just happy that it didn't stop there, because it easily could have. And look at the fucking project we get now. Look at the amazing visuals we get now. Are you kidding me?
I noticed immediately is that this isn't the traditional Rocky sound. It's way different from Testing and even his other projects too. Like, it has similar elements, but you know, that's what makes it so interesting. You know, he's always been an artist who moves in his own lane. He's not really chasing mainstream trends, and this album really showed.
I fear Fantano is gonna piss me off. I fear. That's why I put the Jimmy Kimmel special in between these 2 takes, cause I don't know. You gotta take the criticism, right?
With that, you know, the experimentation on here is clear. You know, he's messing with melodies, flows, and vibes that we really haven't seen from him before. And you know, it really feels like Rocky's project is also fresh, bro. It feels like a fresh project. And you know, I gotta say, bro, someone who's been supporting.
Yeah, not stale at all. I think if you don't like this album, it's because it's not like what you're used to. It's not the same old, you know? You gotta change your ears for real. I don't know. I think it's a very fresh album. I think it'll hold for this decade for sure. This is going to be one of those albums that we remember from the 2020s easily. It's that good in my opinion. I like
Rocky since like 2013. It's wild to still see him kind of like reinvent himself.
Like, there's parts where I felt like his flow or his delivery was kind of boring, but that was his delivery intentionally. And again, like I'm starting to respect the album in like its entirety, like in the round. You know what I'm saying? Like every side, like, okay, I see why these choices were made. You can't say that about a lot of albums. You really can't see why these choices were made. A lot of albums feel like playlists that people just threw together real quick and gave to us. Be a young boy.
And that's one thing that I always respect about him. You know, he's not just putting on music to stay relevant. You know, because if that was the case, he would have been put something out. He's generally like exploring sounds, pushing boundaries, and he's making something that feels personal. You know, even tracks.
And he's so much older now because he's watching the young people. He literally brought Kounty up, so it's just like, bro, seeing Kounty just drop like the way he drops, I would in Rocky's position just be like, all right, I don't have to rush to drop anything for real, for real. Niggas are still playing broke boy, saying it's better than, you know what I'm saying? Because then people sit there and say, oh, I miss the old Rocky. Like, what the fuck? Then keep listening to my old music then. Why should I drop right now? Why?
That I really wasn't like expecting it to hit. They're probably gonna grow on you. And that's a good sign for an artist who's...
Yeah, like this can hold going into the springtime. Some of the tracks will still get play in the summer. Like, that's a vibe.
Been really around as long as he's been. So yeah.
Especially in New York. Are you kidding me? Summer in New York?
Don't be dumb. You know, I'm still listening to it. I'm still soaking it in. But these are my first initial thoughts. Overall, it's an album that feels like Rocky's really doing his own thing. You know, experimenting and still keeping his signature style alive. But I really want to know what you guys think, bro. Like, what are your favorite tracks? What are your vibes? And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
I'd be forgetting Jimmy used to be on Saturday Night Live. Damn, I am. When did? Oh, they finally had a girl. What's her name? Who knows?
That's a beautiful family portrait right there. So, a girl.
This shit looked like they took it in Barbados. It just looks so like not professional. I don't know how to explain it.
Baby Rocky, names are right after me.
Come
Really?
on. How's Baby Rocky? Is it
Oh.
you at all? Is it?
It's amazing and it's like uncomparable. It's just unexplainable.
They had a Rocky. Oh.
You know? Oh.
See, he said Rihanna. And don't they be trying to say it's Rihanna or some shit? Lord, we confusing the white folks. They don't. True, that's not even. Yeah, that's facts. That's not even her real fucking name. Mispronounce my middle name. I don't really care.
I couldn't get in. The bouncers didn't want to let me in, and I was with my friend, late great Virgil Abloh and Matthew Williams.
Wow.
You know, we kind of was getting into it with the bouncers, and she kind of came out, and we locked eyes right away, and I was just like in a daze, and you know, I was a little embarrassed that she caught me like, you know, bickering with the guard and stuff like that.
Not bickering with the guard.
It's not me. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm on the list. She helped you get in?
No.
Nah, I was like, she does not let you in, bro. There's no way. Fuck no.
Yeah, man, you gotta work for it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for a long time. You're always into fashion. I know you for a while now, and you're great at everything you do. And I found some picture of you, 4 years old. Here's 4-year-old ASAP Rocky. Stylish.
I've never seen this picture so many times, Jimmy.
Stylish.
My fourth birthday.
Yeah. Stylish baby.
Look at that handsome fella.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? And now you get to do all this great stuff with fashion labels, and you're crushing it.
Now he has like a 4-year-old.
I mean,
that's full circle. Crazy.
It's funny, that photo is like, it came full circle. I mean, I modeled and I was signed to Gucci for a while. I had a Gucci link on. And that Guess jean suit that I had on, I was creative directed for Guess, you know, in 2014, 15. So everything came back full circle.
Yes, sir, exactly. Yes, are those Ray-Bans?
I like that.
Okay. By the way, also, what a great year for you. You were in 2 giant movies, Highs to Lows. With
I still need to see that, bro. That's crazy.
Denzel, and also If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You with Rose Byrne, nominated for all these awards, going up to award season.
Really?
Fantastic. I didn't even know you were in the Rose Byrne one. I was like,
really? Oh, she won some awards. Damn.
Yeah, that's Rocky, man. It's unbelievable. And we had Spike on the show, at Spike Lee. It was awesome. He came on the show. I go, what's he really like? What's A$AP Rocky as an actor? He goes, he could hold his own against Denzel. What? What?
No way.
Wait.
Yo, what is this tie he has on? That's a JFK tie. I'm pretty sure that's JFK. Alright. It looks like a vintage tie, so maybe it's a reference to something.
You gotta just tell me.
Maybe you got it from Tim Burton.
Were you intimidated? I mean, you work with Denzel Washington.
Yo, it's crazy. Not at all. You know why? Like, they
Talk about the album.
was just so supportive of everybody, especially Denzel. He was just giving me mad advice, you know, telling me the do's and the don'ts. And, you know, I just took heed to everything. I soaked it in like a sponge.
Yeah, but you held your, you were great. I mean, rat-a-tat-tat. It was like easy. It was like watching a great tennis match.
Yo, you know, I don't think it's too hard for a rapper to portray a rapper.
Right. Like, he definitely gets typecasted. That's why I'm curious to see what his role was in the Rose Byrne film. Like, what? What?
Yeah, maybe if I acted as a rapper, that'd be more of a stretch.
That might be a little ironic.
More of yeah.
Yeah. Because there's so many art covers where I know they went and got specific artists to make it. And it's just like, the packaging is so well done. We'll talk more about it though. Like, going back to tangible, physical things, bro. Like, you got to get back to that.
Oh, that's my dude.
Don't be dumb.
Wait, how did you get Tim Burton to do this?
Yo, so I had to basically stalk and harass him for a few years.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, you gotta
So
go eat one.
I hit him up and I was just like, yo, man,
Now give me that, and that's my album cover. Yeah, exactly. Yo, dude. What's the connection with Tim Burton? You just like him as a director?
I'm heavily inspired by German Expressionism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like there's never been any kind of connection or correlation between like just urban sci-fi and German Expressionism.
It definitely has a specific look to it. And the Calgary film, like, when you think of German Expressionism, that's the film I instantly go to. Like, Dr. whatever, Caligari. Yeah, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Is this German Expressionism? I want to say yes, but I could be wrong. Yep, okay, literally right there. Yes, the quintessential work of early German Expressionism. Just look at that photograph. And then go back and look at A$AP Rocky's album, cover art, the visuals, the music videos. Especially this last one we just watched, Whiskey. They threw a cool urban spin on it because it's like modern, but yeah. This is that shit. Nosferatu, does that count? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, the shadows, like, we saw that. I got super excited when I saw this because this is very common in German Expressionism. Light and shadow. Weird ass shapes to mess with that contrast of light and shadow. But you see urban setting, metropolis, even Gotham City, like, they did a lot. It's a cool art form. Yes, thank you, A$AP Rocky, for the art history lesson.
Expressionism. So I wanted to establish my own kind of like subgenre or, you know, style, and we call it ghetto futurism and ghetto expressionism. You know, and that's what you get when you go get, you know, Pretty Flacco and Tim Burton together a little bit. You know?
That's right.
Honestly, though, that is what you get. This is modern contemporary shit we're dealing with.
You know, and
Ghetto expressionism.
And we call it ghetto futurism.
Because it's like Afrofuturism. I wouldn't... Ghetto futurism, I wouldn't go there. But ghetto expressionism, I understand. Like German expressionism, ghetto expressionism. For
and
sure.
Ghetto expressionism.
We're going to see a lot of that in this second half of the decade. We're going to see a lot of ghetto expressionism for sure.
You know, and that's what you get when you go get, you know, Pretty Flacco and Tim Burton together a little bit.
Don't be dumb. No one has asked him what that means to him. Don't be dumb. I guess you got to listen to the album, right?
That's right. I will say, we waited for this for a long time.
Yeah.
As a fan, I mean, come on. I mean, no, I know how much work goes into it. I couldn't. I mean, it's just crazy amount of work. But do fans come up to you and go, Rocky, what's up? Where's the album? Let's go, bud.
You don't know the half. I mean, between me and my lady, I mean, oh man.
True, because they stay asking Rihanna for music too. Rocky didn't drop. He didn't wait that long. It's not like he waited a decade. It was 8 years. 8 years. When he dropped this summer, I want to say May. I knew it. May 25th. Because I remember I was in classes with my students. May 25th, 2018. Yup. May. Damn, summer 18. What was I doing summer of 2018? My phone could probably tell me.
I could imagine. They're like, yo.
Yeah, I was scared for a while, scared for my life, but
Yeah, but he finally did.
Came through and they took about like 10 of us kids, and each person had an adult to, pay for their way. So when it was over, we were walking back to the shelter, and I'm just like, lady, you must be rich. Like, how could you afford to do this? She was like, honey, no, I'm a substitute teacher. I can't even make ends meet right now.
I'm telling you.
And I'm like, so
we're literally taking our students to a film festival on Thursday, bro. It's gonna be fun. Alright, Fantano, just get it over with.
Hi everyone, Dumpany Dumb Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new A$AP Rocky album, Don't Be Dumb. Here we have the new, fourth, long-awaited, full-length
Don't be a meanie butt. Don't be a meanie bobini, Fantano.
Album from New York rapper, actor, songwriter, conceptualizer A$AP Rocky. A record that has been in the making for years and years. In fact, Rocky said this thing was done like back in 2022. And yet, the gap between this and his last...
Now, the 2-year delay, I kind of understand more. And after hearing his interview with Jimmy and stuff, I kind of understand how he had a demo probably in 2018, and he's running around talking to people like Tim Burton to help, conceptualize the album. That's what took 8 years. Well, that probably took 6, and then, you add 2 because of the lawsuits and whatnot, and having kids.
Official album testing almost spanned a decade. So clearly Rocky is not working up to the pace of many of his contemporaries who have very much surpassed him commercially in recent years. But still, you can't take...
But is it quality though? Quality over quantity?
Take away from the fact that Rocky very much gave us what was a cultural reset in the early 2010s with his classic cloud rap mixtape, Live Love ASAP, and then he effortless...
Cloud rap, yeah. That's what everyone's gravitating to. Any song on the new album that is reminiscent to cloud rap, they're gravitating to heavy. That's why Don't Be Dumb is like very liked, and all the other ones that they're fucking with right now.
Dished out some commercial smashes on his official debut album a few years later. But as good as that record was, and as promising as Rocky's career seemed to be at this point in time,
this shit was cool because they were just doing stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? A$AP Yams was like trying to lead and direct creatively what this group was gonna do, what they like, leave their stamp, leave their mark. That's all it was, bro. They were just claiming their territory at this phase in the game.
Kind of spreading himself thin early on, because not only was he sculpting his own sound and career, but he was also trying to turn the team he came up with into a larger force in music and entertainment, the A$AP Mob. In the early 2010s, rap cliques and collectives were very much back in style, but very few of them had the talent and vision to garner long-term interest outside of their core members. And this was very much true for the Mob as well, who additionally had to struggle with numerous members and affiliates moving on and putting their focus elsewhere. Some pretty key members of the A$AP Mob also passed away tragically over the years too, be it A$AP Yams or China.
And not a lot of people recognize that either. Like, it's divine timing that the album took 8 years and then released on the anniversary, which is like low-key, it might be the 10-year anniversary of A$AP Yams passing, like to the date. The weekend that album dropped is the same weekend that A$AP Yams passed. Like, that's better than getting the album 3 years ago, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the album dropped in the summer of 24. Like, nah.
And there have even been internal tensions within the collective too, which recently boiled over into a pretty crazy court case that ended last year and had A$AP Rocky accusing A$AP Rocky of shooting him. Now, A$AP Rocky was obviously found not guilty, but you have to wonder what...
Where's the clip of him leaping into Rihanna's arms, bruh? We gotta play that one time before we end the A$AP Rocky review. German expressionism, ghetto expressionism. I see it. I see it. Yeah, even the punk Rocky music video, like that shit was so cool. Okay, Rocky leaping into... Yes. Yes.
The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the state of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We
Nigga was about to have a... He was about to pass out, bro. Do you know how bad that would have been?
The jury in above
Then we really would have never got the album.
find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of...
Yo, he's wild for that. He's forever wild for that, bro. This is crazier than Offset's dolphin dive into the crowd, bro. His falcon punch into the crowd. This is crazier than that. Somebody threw a water bottle at you and you punched somebody straight into the face. This nigga just got off on some bullshit that wasn't even his fault and leapt into Rihanna's arms. I know that shit hurt too. It did not sound like he... Brother. That was great. Oh man.
What something like that does to long-term friendships and creative partnerships. However, all this stuff is not even half, I would say, of what has been eating up Rocky's time and bandwidth over the past 10 years. He entered into a very public relationship with Rihanna, became a father 2 times over, was arrested and stuck over in Sweden for a considerable amount of time.
3 times over now. He done had a little Rocky, man.
He also spent time branching out creatively into film and fashion, and had multiple collaborations and...
Yeah, the film with Denzel Washington is still just... I'm not caught up, because I need to watch that film to understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I study this person, this artist, all day, every day. But it's like when they drop something, yes, I will consume it, I will analyze it, and then go from there. I have not consumed or analyzed the film with Denzel Washington. That's Spike Lee directed. Like, that's a lot to digest. I'm gonna get to it though, for sure.
Recording sessions for songs that ultimately didn't end up making the...
I low-key want to watch Spike Lee's older stuff first, because I've only seen some. So I'm reading the book and I want to watch the movies as I finish the chapters on making those movies and go from there. So highest to lowest, I probably won't really get to. Yeah, I won't really get to for some time.
This album, some of which leaked, some of which dropped officially, but again didn't make the cut here. Also, for a while it was rumored none of...
Oh yeah, that was that leak with Cardi. Like, it's not missing from the album at all. It wouldn't even fit, in my opinion.
Other than Morrissey was going to be on this record, but yeah.
Who do I care?
Also, for a while it was rumored none other than Morrissey was going...
Don't know who that is.
To be on this record, but yeah, he didn't end up on this thing. Bullet dodged there. Yeah, the timeline this record could have existed in, but yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The timeline in which it does exist, though, is just the right time, bro. It was supposed to release the way it released.
The idea that Rocky might be venturing into some unexpected or weird territory on this record is no real surprise, because his last album, Testing, seemed to mostly be dictated by this restless need to experiment. And it seems like Rocky didn't want fans to expect anything too predictable out of this project either, because, I mean, just look at the lead single to this thing, Punk Rocky, which at the very least does live up to the promise of being a rock track, although I wouldn't frame it as punk as much as I would like very reverby, bland Brooklyn indie rock from 2010. The sorts of forgettable, bland music blog darlings that A$AP Rocky was a very refreshing alternative to at the time. And while I didn't
That's so fair.
really like it all that much, I guess at least he's not just rehashing his breakout mixtape sound, I guess. And in terms...
Yeah, that's what I was like afraid of. I was like, don't try to reminisce on the early stuff, because there's no point. We gotta move forward, and you can't recreate that. There's subtle nods and homages to it on the album, but he's not trying to like recreate it, which I'm happy about.
Of how this album might sound, there wasn't really too much more to go off of other than you know, a handful of leaks and some other tracks that didn't end up making it onto the final record, like the song Taylor Swift, which originally came...
Yeah, it was good. El Monster was good.
Attached to this,
really just talking to myself, that's all.
Incredible, mind-blowing music video that if it came out today, you would think it was made entirely by AI, given all the zany shit going on throughout it. There was also Hijack featuring Jessica Pratt, which I loved. I wish it actually ended up on this album, but Jessica Pratt does end up on the closing track, the end to Don't Be Dumb, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Overall, I'm not really sure if Don't Be Dumb is going to be enough to bring Rocky back to the cultural prominence he once had.
He doesn't have to. I feel like that was the point. I didn't expect you to be this chill. Damn, bro. How you doing? Yeah, maybe I should change the title to come off more chill. Yeah. Yo, thank you for the, what was that, a follow? Yo, appreciate it. 100 and, what is that, 113. Damn. Will we break 200? I gotta be more consistent, but we'll break 200 when we break it. But yeah, I'm just on here talking about Rocky's album. I did a live listen to it like a stream ago, if you go to my channel. And yeah, so we're just kind of retroactively talking about the album. Hope you're doing good on this Tuesday that feels like a Monday.
In the early 2010s. The album isn't quite that good, I would say, but it's still a decent return to form and proof that Rocky can still put together a competent set of bangers when he wants to, as well as some of the...
It's hard because when you compare this album to, you know, his contemporaries like a Kendrick or a J. Cole or even a Drake, no, this album's not gonna like disturb the airwaves. It's not gonna chart on the billboards for weeks or months. It's not gonna do that. But again, I think it's just gonna be one of those albums that we remember from this decade. And then when we just look at him singularly, I feel like this is his best album. And that's where any artist should want to be. You want to drop, like, your latest shit should be your greatest shit. Wouldn't it have been terrible if he dropped this album and people were like, this is shit, I'm going back to his old stuff, I miss the old Rocky? Like, that's what you don't want, I feel like, as a viewer. From a viewer standpoint, it's nice if a title is a short question that's easy to answer. What could be a cool short question that's easy to answer for, like, would you say, like a chill person like me? I'm terrible at titles, honestly. What? We're just watching vids and chilling. Like, we're just watching vids. I'm about to change it now. What vids or games y'all trying to play?
Most lyrically focused songs he's dropped in years. Don't Be Dumb does start off on a weak foot, in my opinion, with Order of Protection, a song that lyrically feels very much like an explanation or a mea culpa for having been gone for so long. And while it's assuring that Rocky is back for sure, could this have not been set to a bolder hook or at least a beat that doesn't sound like I'm attending a funeral? Isn't this album an experience I'm supposed to be excited about? Thankfully, the moment...
No, that's fair. I see where you're going going with it though. I see where you're going. If you listen to Rocky's old stuff, definitely listen to this album. It's crazy to see the evolution.
Momentum on this record picks up pretty quickly and stays high throughout much of the first half. The song Helicopter, in my opinion, is much...
I think nope. Yeah, I don't know. There's some things about the album that I would have changed track list wise, but it is what it is.
More like it. A twisted trap banger with crisp claps, Roland style cowbells, siren synths, and a beefy bass line. It's simple but effective, and Rocky continues to have slick bars, flows, unparalleled charisma for days. Then Stole Ya Flow is a...
No, that's fair. Who are y'all listening to right now? Did I spell listening right? Who cares? Yeah.
Track that he previewed in the midst of the Kendrick-Drake beef of 2024. It was his own track dedicated to Champagne Poppy, which it's important to remember that around this time, Drake was originally framing this battle, this beef, as a 20v1, because Metro Boomin and Future's track like that with Kendrick kind of opened up the floodgates and essentially made it okay for others to step in and start taking their own jabs too. And in my opinion, few were more justified in doing so than Rocky. There are literally Twitter threads dedicated to every single time in a lyric, a demo, a performance, whatever, Drake has bitterly brought up A$AP Rocky and Rihanna due to the fact that she...
and the fact that Rocky only really gave it attention, he barely entertained it on a song that we had already heard before. Stole Your Bitch or whatever it is. That song he performed at like a concert a year or two. It was probably a year ago, but I swear that was like a year or 2 year old leak, bruh.
Doesn't want to have anything to do with him anymore. And some of these mentions came as recent.
And it probably was around the same time Kendrick was like going ham.
Recently as like 2024, and have been pretty constant over the years, as well as
it's been 2 years already. That's so crazy.
Increasingly weird. So don't let the biased weirdos on social media or in the music media convince you that this track from Rocky is just coming out of nowhere. But yeah, lyrically on this one, Rocky is pretty focused, getting into his digs about Drake's cosmetic surgery, bombing at Tyler the Creator's flog-gnaw, Drake biting Rocky's style, being an absent father, and of course he's with the woman Drake is very obsessed with, Rihanna. He's got a...
It's in 4K, bro. I remember those award shows where Drake gave Rihanna her award for something, and the glaze was crazy. Oh my god, the glaze was crazy, bro. It was so cringe. Because cringe wasn't even a thing back then, but we all knew what Drake was doing at that time was just disgusting, foul.
Bring that up, and it's all.
And then A$AP Rocky, it's just like crazy when you think about A$AP's and Rihanna's interactions, like in 4K on the internet and stuff, and then Drake's. Yeah, no.
Set to a very nightmarish beat, and while I think it's a good track,
and that's some of y'all's goat, but whatever.
One of the most solid here. In a way, I do think Rocky kind of let Drake off easy. But given where Rocky is right now...
He did. I think that he let him off easy as well. I do feel that. I agree.
Now and Drake...
It's like, he didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if Drake's dumb enough to continue doing this shit, then A$AP Rocky can really do or say whatever he wants at that point. But I just feel like, I don't know, Drake seems kind of like scared. I feel like Drake a little too pussy for real to poke that bear anymore. Like, Rihanna just had her 3rd child. I think you gotta let it go, Drake. I think it's time.
I don't know if he needed to do much more. Now, interestingly, from here, the record kind of lightens up a bit in terms of mood and attitude. We get Stay Here for Life, which is very much a track that's about falling in love. It's a cute little pop rap number with some super bright, smooth feature vocals from Brent Faiyaz, or at least they're said to be. Truth be told, Rocky has been kind of guarded coming out of the gate with the full feature and production list behind this album, though it's been said the keys on this track are sampled straight from Ken Carson's Mewtwo track. Clairo may have even recently posted on her Instagram story confirming that one of her songs is actually sampled in the...
I mean, Drake also has bigger things to worry about, like a RICO case which he's involved in. So yeah, maybe that's why he doesn't have time to like respond to Rocky. Maybe he's too busy
title track of the record
being powerful with all his fake money.
One of the few true credits on the record actually just comes on the front cover with Rocky shouting out none other than Tim Burton, who had a very clear hand in the visual direction of this album, along with some of the music video visuals too. And I'm sure Danny Elfman came as a bit of a package deal with Timmy, as he was recently spotted even performing with Rocky during his SNL visit. Either way, this track is an incredibly sweet moment on the album, and it's just about a love that's getting very serious, very devoted, exclusive. And I love that Rocky is able to get these feelings and emotions across while giving us an instrumental and a style that is so indebted to Chopped and Screwed, to just Southern hip-hop in general. Again, I just love how these sorts of sounds and touchstones are...
Bruh, that's one of my favorite moments on the album. I forget what song he's talking about, but yes. Yes, that. Is it Playa? It's probably Playa or No Trespassing. Shit fire.
Remain to be a major influence on him, regardless of what era he is in his career. And the song Playa very much doubles down on these lovey-dovey vibes too. The song essentially serves to dispel rumors around Rocky being a playa in the first place, and features a glistening, groovy beat. It's kind of like his own LL Cool J I Need Love moment. Things get grim and dark once again with No Trespassing, which is kind of like some grimy, murderous ear candy. And then following this we have another highlight on the record, Stop Snitching, which is actually pretty focused, really Rocky's own take on the topic, and maybe kind of makes sense given the recent trial he had to go through. Instrumentally, the track gives off some...
And see, that's the thing. People don't know the lore. The Stop Snitching song is When I Woke Up on this album, because that, to me, is one of the more recent things that he's had to deal with. That lawsuit with his friend. Sauce Walka, who everyone is apparently thinking was ASAP Ferg, also had this weird run-in. He almost lost his life running around with his friends. So it's just like, bruh, they both could relate. And I think that's why Sauce went even harder on this album, because it's like Rocky, in a sense, resolved the issue with his friend, right? They had the trial. There was a verdict. He's not guilty. Cool. Let's, bygones be bygones. But with Sauce Walka, he low-key still dealing with the shit, bruh. There's still repercussions for those actions. And it's just like, bruh. He went stupid. That might be the outro for today's stream, bruh. Stop snitching, for real.
Devilish Houston vibes.
Sheesh.
Huge beat.
Devilish Houston vibes. Oh my god.
Woozy keys, distant horns too. And what's said to be a Sauce Walka feature where, dude, that guy gets completely unhinged here. Now, the second half of the record...
Because that's what I'm saying. He's still dealing with the shit, bruh. Sauce is still in that mode, bruh. A$AP Rocky is out of that mode. He has resolve. This nigga Rocky has resolve. That's why he can be all cool and chill about the whole album. This nigga Sauce got on there and spazzed the fuck out because he's still dealing with the shit, bruh. Don't be dumb is something he probably is still saying every day.
Comparatively speaking, is
Stop snitching.
Actually much more experimental and out there than the first.
Stop trying to backdoor your friends. That shit is weird.
It seems like nearly every track on this section of the record is trying to subvert people's expectations in some way. But they really range in quality, in focus, and whether or not they come across genuinely interesting or weird. First off, we have the track STFU, which is this industrial noise rap bank.
That's my least favorite song. And I probably need to go back and listen to it a few more times, but STFU, not the biggest fan, but I get it. We had to go from Stop Snitching to Punk Rocky somehow. And so track number 9 does that. There's 17 tracks. So it's like around 16. All right, yep. Yeah, that's like the middle of the album, and then the second half kind of starts there.
That, dare I say, at some points sounds a little Death Grips coded. Features some...
I can see that. I can see that comparison. I love Death Grips.
Freaky, aggressive, loud, over-the-top features, chaotic sounds coming at you from every which direction. But what I think keeps it from really hitting the mark is that it doesn't develop all that much over the course of its lifetime, and Rocky maybe raps on the track just a bit too normal for a song that's so insane and over the top.
And that's one thing I was complaining about. I'm like, Rocky had the same delivery on every song, but that's his style, and he was staying true to that. But we're so used to the ear candy of somebody doing more stuff, you know, with their delivery of their verses and whatnot.
He just kind of wants to sound way too cool, calm, and collected in it. Then we also have Air Force.
Yeah, how do you make a song called Shut the Fuck Up and then you try to sound cool, calm, and collected? That was a weird juxtaposition for me.
Black DeMarco.
Talk about it.
I do think there is something to the very synthy, repetitive, almost rage-influenced.
The thing when y'all, the same reaction y'all had when you heard Olympium or whatever on Cardi's I Am Music album. It's that sound that y'all keep gravitating to. It's not a bad thing, but it's just like this again, like the same thing again.
Passages, and
then it's just like a loop. The loop is cool, we get it, but can we move on from the loop? Can we do some type of cool interlude with the loop? Maybe a bridge there that just like throws it out of whack or off beat, off tempo. Y'all just do the basic beat switch, but it low-key be the same beat, so I'm confused.
Also the super pillowy indie ballad sections. But together they come across as like very oil and water and rocky. Maybe could have fixed that by coming up with an effective transition from one moment to the next. The track Whiskey, he does feel like Rocky is doing his best efforts to be that cure.
Before he rates this, what would we rate this? Because we're getting to the end here. This is it. Let's get all our A$AP Rocky points out the way now. I'm about to oh, I can't look at the posts I liked. Aw. Damn, I don't know his YouTube channel. Oh well. Let me look at it at my phone. If I had to rate this album, oh yeah. Damn, you can't even go to the post. That's wild. YouTube needs to fix their shit. Who is this artist? That's another thing. Can we get the full feature list, please? Because I feel like there's still some people on the album that I didn't realize were on the album, which is always fun. Like during the live listen, that was fun. It was like, oh, that's so and so. Like I immediately knew that was Sauce Walka and not A$AP Ferg. Doechii took a second, but it registered. I feel like you question it, but it's like you always know. I'm like, no, that's Doechii. And then who else? Tyler the Creator was on there.
Curator that we know and love, curator of vibes, of good, interesting guests on an LP. Because while Westside Gunn's vocals, as well as Damon Albarn's or Gorillaz 2D's vocals, are very prominently featured on this track.
Oh, the artist from Gorillaz. That's probably who's on Shut the Fuck Up.
They don't really do much in this song other than provide a bit of filler and background noise, when their input, their creativity here could have been so much greater. Like on the song Robbery featuring Doechii, which is a really cool theatrical lounge jazz number with hand drums, upright bass, cocktail hour pianos, whispery rapped vocals from Rocky, like him and Doechii are kind of sneaking into the event. Doechii's bars coming across really...
That was great storytelling, and that's why Robbery is when I was like, oh, this is an album. Because he had the skits already. He had skits throughout. And then the like cool robbery scene, like that was just great. I wasn't expecting that. That was a good surprise. That was a really good surprise. Because there's just no reason. Like Doechii didn't need to be on the album. There's nothing that really connects them to have been on the album. So yeah, it was just a cool surprise.
productive and smart before her and Rocky just decide to sort of start robbing the place. It's a very interesting concept and one of the best here to say the least. On the two-part title track to this record, Rocky continues to explore his softer side and more blissful instrumentation, and while an eventual beat switch does keep things interesting, I think I would have much rather heard him kind of bring the original idea of this track to a really ambitious conclusion, rather than just kind of throwing whatever at the wall. Thankfully from here though, we get a pretty strong closer, which while I don't think the vague notions of what's wrong with the world right now come across from Rocky all that sharp in his lyrics, I do very much echo the song's sentiments that it does really feel like socially and culturally we are kind of at a breaking point right now. End times sorts of vibes for sure, with some very eerie refrains of "This is the way the world ends, this is the way the world ends," sung by a kid, with just Pratt eventually kind of like, following up on the back end of the song. It's a cool, strange, unnerving, and linear progression that finishes off the album right. But yeah, this record was a bit of a roller coaster. It had many hard-hitting, catchy, standout moments, but then some misfires too. At the very least, the misfires saw Rocky kind of like taking risks and trying new things. And what I'm hoping from here is that this is really Rocky coming back to us and just like getting things booted up once again, reminding us he can still make a project that's worth hyping up and talking about when he decides to do it. And I hope he decides to, again, with an even more impressive work sometime in the near future. Because
I hope he keeps dropping now, because I get why this project took 8 years, but can your next project like take 6 months maybe?
Because while Don't Be Dumb was certainly a respectable project,
just saying, I don't know, it's up to you. I don't know, you got 3 kids, I can't tell you what to do. I don't know.
Was it worth the entirety of this wait? I don't know about that, which is why I'm feeling about a light 7.
All right, good night, y'all. We can't. Yep. Good night, y'all. 7. I like it. Light 7. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Light 7 in it, bitch. I told y'all stop snitching. Yes, sir. Light 7. Light fucking 7. Buddy, fabric as softener. I heard that on the way to work today. I was like, sauce. What? Fabric, boy, you fabric as softener. I love that. I don't know how to explain, cause you'll lie to your mom and your dad, but go tell the truth to an officer. Stop snitching. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Rocky, light 7 in that beat, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was scared, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Fantana was gonna be very, very critical and harsh, but I'm like, how can you when they're doing something super expressionist and super experimental, you know? Like Testing was experimental in a different way than this one. Dopey Dumb is experimental in a like well thought out way. Like Testing was just like, all right, let's just see what's gonna work here, and it did. But then this time he was like, all right, I like these sounds, I don't like those. I work well with these, I don't work well with those. And he tried his best to create a experimental album, an experimental hip hop album. He wasn't doing that a decade ago. He really wasn't. 2016, 2013, 2011, that wasn't experimental hip hop for real. That was a homage to, like, you know, the sound that turned cloud rap into what it is today.
On this one,
crazy. Light 7 though. Woo.
Transition, have you given this album a listen?
Fire. Yes, Fantano, I did. I think it's his best album. Yeah, man, I really don't got much to say outside of that.